Shortly, the Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan AO, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. They have taken their positions on stage. Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the National Anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Nalawa. Good afternoon and welcome to the lands of the Walamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this afternoon. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter Bullangari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired knowledge to lobby and ultimately secure, for a time, some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by the strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met in the world. They owned nothing but the tools they carried. They made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents or mortgages, no jails, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources which were needed, and they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state with fire and responsible harvesting, and our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So do remember, this is not a dream or an ideal. This was normal life for the longest time for us, and only not so recent has it changed. Now, there's little reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us, but we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, and we are naturally a happy people. I would also suggest sharing your gifts with the rest of us, though, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do that, and I'm confident that together we can put together a country and a world that we can be proud of, and one that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you, and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, first I want to thank all of you for coming. A graduation ceremony is a very important celebration of achievement. The achievements of our graduands, but also of the university. So it's very good that you're here, and I'm very grateful that you are. I also especially want to thank those of you who have brought children with you. It's good for them that they're here because their memories of today and of the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate the successes of today's graduands. And their presence is also good for us because every celebration is enhanced by children. Now, unless children have changed enormously since I was a child, few of them, especially the tiny tots, will be able to stay quiet or still for the duration of the ceremony. I don't expect them to, I don't want them to, and I don't want parents to worry if they don't. They are most welcome, and please let them run around and make as much commotion as they like. And I'm not sure that we have any little babies here with us today, but if we do, they're entitled to cry their lungs out. We know from long experience that if a baby cries during a graduation ceremony, they're back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. So it's something to be encouraged, not discouraged. Now, the most important thing today is that our graduands have a great day. I hope today will be a happy and memorable occasion for all of you. It will only be a happy day, though, if you all sit back and relax. Nearly all of you look relaxed, but there's one or two of you who look so nervous that you'd think you were about to go into the examination room rather than collect your degrees. I can assure you nothing can go wrong today. Well, that's not quite right. Occasionally people come up here, they trip and fall, but that's fine. That's what all these people are here for. Their job is to pick you up and send you on your way. So just sit back and relax and enjoy the day, because you deserve to, and you deserve to take great pride in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to congratulate all of you who are here today as the guests of our graduands, because if you think about it for just a moment, the very fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. Now, I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role, because I have another very important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, Macquarie, of course, is not one of them. We're a very young university. We celebrated our 50th anniversary only 4 years ago. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. Those of us who went to school in New South Wales were taught that Macquarie was a great builder, and indeed he was. But his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. His greatest legacy was the ethos he established, much to the annoyance of the British authorities at the time, of an egalitarian society, because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony there be no distinction between the free and the freed that was the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And that is a legacy that here at Macquarie we will always aim to maintain and honour. After our first 54 years, we now have more than 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in 142 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're now ranked in the top 2% of the world's universities. From our beginnings, we have defied the traditional boundaries of academia. We've pioneered and continue to pioneer learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students play a major role in their own learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn. We're also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research with world-changing impact, is brought to life by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solution to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. And that, by the way, is no idle boast. I'm sure everyone in this room at some stage makes use of Wi-Fi. Now, it might surprise you to learn that Wi-Fi was not developed at Harvard University or Cambridge or Oxford or even Sydney or Melbourne or the Australian National University. No, Wi-Fi was developed by Macquarie University scientists in conjunction with scientists from the CSIRO. Now, that's something that Macquarie University and indeed Australia can be justifiably proud of. And the research that's currently underway at Macquarie is no less significant. I'm sure all of you will be aware of the very recent death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and a marvellous and inspiring man. The disease he fought almost all of his life was motor neurone disease. And I'm very proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is at the forefront. In fact, I think it's fair to say we are the Australian leader in helping to find a cure for that dreadful disease. I don't know whether anyone here is actually a surfer and rides their board up and down the coast, but you might have seen recently that there have been some shark attacks in Western Australia, and not too long ago a number of shark attacks on the north coast of New South Wales. Well, we have researchers working on an invention that will prevent shark attacks on surfers, so that will come as good news to the surfing community. In fact, we have countless research projects underway, all of which have enormous potential to add to the world's knowledge and well-being. We're also proud of some of our new or relatively new facilities, including our Australian Hearing Hub, our library and our hospital. We are the only university in Australia which owns and operates its own hospital. But we have a lot more to do to make sure that all of our facilities and buildings are fit for purpose. That's why when you arrived here today, and if you had a look around, you may have thought for a moment that you were visiting a war zone. The big hole in the ground just outside is the site of our new central courtyard, which will house new food and beverage facilities, other social and study areas, as well as on-campus student accommodation. A little further away, our arts faculty building, one of our oldest, has been completely gutted and will be replaced by a new arts precinct, which will also include new spaces for our superb museums and galleries. So we're looking forward, and we are very much on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission, and that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Now, graduands and ladies and gentlemen, it's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Professor Philip Bolton. Professor Bolton is a research-active academic at the School of Biomedical Sciences and Pharmacy at the University of Newcastle and a distinguished member of the chiropractic profession. Dr. Bolton was the first chiropractor to be appointed to the academic staff of a medical faculty in Australia. He was also the first chiropractor to receive research funding from the Australian National Health and Medical Research Council. Dr. Bolton's research has been published in prestigious journals, including the Journal of Physiology, the Journal of Neurophysiology, and Experimental Brain Research. He contributed to the Australian National Health and Medical Research Council clinical and evidence-based guidelines on acute pain management and the management of acute musculoskeletal pain. He has served on the National Council of the Australian Neuroscience Society and was a member of the National Network of Spine Scientists, an advisor body to the National Centre for Clinical Research Excellence in Spinal Pain, Injury and Health based at the University of Queensland. I now invite Philip to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Philip Bolton.
Welcome. Chancellor, faculty and staff of the University, distinguished and invited guests and graduands. I consider it both a special honour and a privilege to have been invited to join you here today on this very special occasion. Graduands, this is a day for you to join with the University to celebrate your achievements, to reminisce, and of course to consider what the future holds. It's wonderful that many of your family and friends have been able to join us here today and to recognise and celebrate your achievements. It's the support of family and friends and colleagues that make it possible for us to do what we do. I suspect many of you who are about to be awarded the Bachelor of Chiropractic Science degree are going on to complete your Master of Chiropractic degree, which will focus on preparing you for clinical practice. To you, I implore you, make the most of your learning opportunities here at Macquarie University, whether it be in the lecture theatre, the tutorial room, the teaching clinic, the coffee shop, or even the bar. Yes, a lot of learning goes on in the bar, parents, family and friends. You can certainly learn about kidney function and the influence of alcohol on the nervous system. Important things to know as a clinician, I might add. Importantly, however, as graduates of the science faculty, you will have been trained in the scientific method and the imperative of evidence-based clinical practice. For those of you who may choose not to go into clinical practice, your training has prepared you well to contribute to healthcare in our community in a number of other ways. For example, you could become a practicing scientist, investigating how the body works and how to better diagnose health problems and provide more effective treatments. There's much that remains to be understood about how the body works, and there are certainly many conditions and diseases for which we have yet to develop safe and effective management strategies. Many of you being awarded the Master of Chiropractic degree today will enter the healthcare sector. If the available Australian Bureau of Statistics figures are any indication, most of you will establish a single practitioner chiropractic practice and will be consulted primarily by people who are seeking help for back and neck pain and problems with musculoskeletal system. These are significant problems in our community. Back pain, for example, is the third leading cause of disease burden in Australia. The Australian Institute of Health and Welfare report that data collected in 2014-15 indicates that 1 in 16 Australians, that's 3.7 million people, reported having chronic, that is ongoing, back pain. Some 50% of us will experience neck pain at some time in our lives, and for these, some 10 to 20% will become chronic. These conditions are debilitating for an individual, and of course, when conditions become chronic, they have far-reaching ramifications for the broader community. As you have learnt in your studies, back pain is problematic to assess and manage, and it can be a sign of many problems, indeed some of which can be life-threatening. I recall a case in which a 38-year-old woman consulted me concerning her ongoing back pain, which had bothered her for just over a year. While her health and medical history was otherwise unremarkable, and she could not recall an incident of onset for her back pain, I was prompted to perform an X-ray examination of her low back, as she had reported a recent heavy fall that seemed to aggravate her pre-existing back pain. On examination of the X-ray images, it became apparent that in spite of denying it when I asked during my interview about her health and medical history, the X-ray evidence provided indication that she had an intrauterine device. Her x-rays were otherwise unremarkable. On further inquiry, she acknowledged she'd been using the intrauterine device under medical supervision for the purpose of contraception, but had not thought it relevant to declare to me, even when I specifically asked her about her medical history. As a Master of Chiropractic graduates, you'll know one of the side effects of the use of the intrauterine device is that it may cause back pain. I refer to her and a general medical practitioner with a letter reporting my clinical impressions and asked her medical practitioner to review her situation. I'll come back to the case later, but I've shared this case report with you as it highlights 3 clinical tips I would like to share with those of you about to go into clinical practice. Firstly, remember, patients are entitled to present with more than one problem at the time they present. Secondly, patients don't read the textbooks and don't tell you everything, and often present with unfamiliar combinations or even a lack of one or more of the symptoms or signs that would, if present, or if you knew about them, suggest a particular condition or situation. As an aside, they do, however, read Wikipedia and Google. This raises more challenges for you, since neither, as far as I know, have had evidence-based training that you've had and that we're here to acknowledge today with the awarding of your degrees. Consequently, an important role for you is to bring scientific evidence and the facts to the attention of the patients so they consider and make decisions about their health based on scientific evidence and not hearsay. Thirdly, your learning is really only just beginning. Whether you become a clinician or decide to pursue other paths, set aside some time in your day to read and study the scientific peer-reviewed literature. Knowledge is very empowering. While some of you may choose to set up a solo practice, I am observing an interesting trend that is developing regarding the practice of chiropractic, which I would encourage you to participate in if you are considering going into clinical practice. In particular, I refer to the establishment of multidisciplinary health clinics with chiropractors working alongside medical doctors, other allied healthcare providers such as physiotherapists, occupational therapists and speech pathologists. Such a multidisciplinary approach to the assessment, care and management of patients is surely better for the patients. In finishing, I return to my opening comments that you are all graduating from a Faculty of Science and have been trained in the methods of science. Apply the methods of science in your professional life. When you observe, when your observations prompt you to propose a hypothesis or theory about what's happening in your clinical environment, contact the staff, now your colleagues here at the Macquarie University, and talk to them about how you can scientifically investigate and test your theory or hypothesis. I'm sure they'll be happy to assist, to test the validity of your ideas, and perhaps even to do so as part of a PhD program. Remember, the core business of a university is to foster learning and to create knowledge. They are a community resource for you. But what of my patient, I hear you ask? Well, it turned out she had the intrauterine device removed and used an alternative form of contraception. Her back pain resolved. There was nothing more to do for her. And on that note, I want to finish by wishing you all well in your professional endeavours and to congratulate each of you in your achievements. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Philip, for an excellent occasional address. There are a number of things that struck a chord with me in Philip's speech. The first was that there's a lot of learning to be done at the bar, and that is true. In fact, there is a lot of learning to be done outside of the classroom generally, and don't ever underestimate that. The second thing that struck a chord with me was his suggestion that patients aren't always forthcoming. They don't necessarily tell you everything they should. And I recalled an incident with myself some 12, 13 years ago, and I was convinced I had a brain tumour. And I didn't have the courage to go and tell the doctor that I had a brain tumour until one day I had a bad dose of the flu, and presented myself at the doctor's, and I thought, well, I better come clean here. I said, "Doctor, I've got a brain tumour." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "Well, it's protruding out of the side of my head." I had this big black thing on this. "Oh," he said, "you silly bastard, that's a senile wart." He said, "You get those when you're old, it will fall off eventually," and it did. So I learned a lesson. So always make sure, I mean, these days we're all experts. Of course, we've got Dr. Google. So just be aware that sometimes patients can be really stupid and make your own inquiries. I think Philip deserves another great round of applause. Well, now, graduands, we now come to the key part of the ceremony, the reason we're here, and that's the conferring of degrees. Now, I mentioned earlier that there's nothing for you to be worried about today, but this is the one part of this ceremony that concerns me just a little bit, because I was told many years ago that if I conferred a degree on someone who was not eligible to receive it, there was very little, if anything, I could do to take it back. So I have to make sure that all of you are truly qualified to graduate today, and that none of you ever were late in submitting an assignment, and that none of you ever skipped a class. So I'm going to ask the Registrar, Gail White, to give me ironclad guarantees on those grounds.
Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
That's you, yes. Graduates, in the name of Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Science and Engineering, and I call on Professor Barbara Messerle, Executive Dean of the Faculty, to present the graduates. Professor Messerle.
Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. This faculty teaches programs across the full breadth of the sciences and engineering. While there are many challenges facing the world, there are also endless possibilities to problem solve, think creatively, and change society for the better. From finding new ways to feed 10 billion people, to fighting cybercrime and keeping our data safe, our researchers at Macquarie University are using innovative techniques to tackle global challenges. The faculty is committed to excellence in our teaching, research, innovation in science and engineering. We conduct research that has a significant impact on scientific knowledge and on the well-being and prosperity of individuals and societies. We provide an enriched student learning experience through scholarship and engagement to enhance employability. We have close links with industry and are building firm future partnerships, especially with companies located nearby in Macquarie Park. Australia needs more STEM graduates who have the skills to make real change and shape our collective future. So today is an important day where we celebrate our most recent STEM graduates. This ceremony includes graduates from the discipline of chiropractic. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering to whom you have admitted degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Chiropractic Science. Cameron Robert Ash. Joseph Michael Bradshaw. Kenneth Chu. Jake Kalevsky. Aidan Paul Cowling. Dominique Vincent Cumming. Madison Mallory Davis. Aisha El Hassan. Kieran Harms. Ryan Nathan Henson. Claire Tuet Huang. India Hornan. Mitchell Hughes. Q Evan Her. Philip Tree Min Huyn. Alexander Jan Yarominek. Sean Sang-hyuk Jan. Wasim Kabalan. Christopher Robert Karachonsyi. Gina Key. Jamie Renee, oops, sorry. Jamie Renee Kirk. Cindy Lamb. Ming Sum Elizabeth Law. Dong Hee Lee. Madison Zoe Lick. Karina Anil Mehta. Michelle Moynihan. Jeremy Nguyen. Tiffany Fan. Luke Mitchell Ross. Alwyn Sao. Ehab Tayuk. Benjamin Stewart Treby. Robert Jeffrey Ngan Webb. Megan Yentz. Michael George Ziade. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Information Technology, Games Design and Development, Matthew Sanders. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Chiropractic, Martina Adamczyk. Nafisha Binte Anwar. Hani Ali Atia. Bridget Anna-Marie Batten. Cale Tyler Beggs. Andrew Joseph Bell. Disha Bhuta. Jake Robert Bradshaw. Peter Chi. Chun Long Chung. Marcus Daniel Chidiak. Sebastian Michael Purnell Cook. Dirk Crawford. Samuel Crean. Matthew Dillon Croce. Karina Heidi Drake. Jessica Zheng. Lydia Feng. Kevin Kog Chi Fong. Tristan Fu. Marina Caterina Fuentes. Susanna Kate Gilder. Min Yi He. Yuki Hyo. Michael Swinburne Hobbs. Ricardo Jones. Kiara Karayanis. Timon Nicholas Kaufmann. Terry Ann Caruz. Sean Hee Kim. Natalia Francesca Comet. Lauren Margaret Rachel Cowell. Lily Kulkulka. Mackenzie Coolin. Justin Nunzio Laguzza. Ji Hun La. Wing Zi Grace Law. Cheyenne Lay. Glenn Lahan. Kelvin Ka Wang Lung. Yu Tsung Lee. Joyce Kwan Hui Lo. Kevin Liu. Catherine Hope Macquarie. Amy Elizabeth Marshall. Hilary Jane Matheson. Joshua Dane McNamara. Henry Norwood Mickelson. Nicola Suzanne Mitchell. Priscilla Ng. Alice Loren Nikotra. Crystal Elizabeth Noor. Georgia Elizabeth Orr. Time Ozkoze. Nicholas Paris. Hui Min Park. Kiyung Up Park. Rebecca Ann Parker. Shangavi Patipan. Timothy Justin Porter. Joshua Thomas Raffo. David Russo. Jessica Sidholm. Michael Graham Streeter. Lung Sun. Chantal Sequoia Templeton. Nathaniel Brian Thorpe. Ching Ing Tiang. Uthpala Kaushalya Wanigasekara. Scott Philip Williams. Simon Yang. Stephen Zamagias. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Martin Frutiger, for a thesis entitled Biopsychosocial Risk Factors in Office Workers with Non-Specific Neck Pain, a cross-sectional analysis. I present the graduate from the Faculty of Arts admitted to the degree of Master of Arts, Irene Mavis Cook. I present the graduate from the Faculty of Human Sciences admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with a degree of Bachelor of Education, Secondary, Hannah Eve Spring Weiner. No. Sorry, that one's wrong. All right, withdraw that one. I present the graduate from the Faculty of Business and Economics admitted to the degree of Master of Banking and Finance, Huang Tang Vu. Apologies. And now I present the graduate from the Faculty of Human Sciences admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Education, Secondary, Hannah Eve Spring Weiner. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science, Ye Yong Fang. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering.
Chancellor, I call on Mr. Michael Hobbs, who has graduated today with a Master of Chiropractic, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Mr. Hobbs.
Thank you, Chancellor, members of the university, esteemed guests, and fellow graduates. So I nearly died last night when, in true university fashion, my housemate's printer stopped working, and I nearly couldn't print my speech out for today. But at the 11th hour, we fixed the issue, and so I stand before you today, one man, many notes, and a speech with a Turnitin rating of 6% similarity. I am extremely honoured to be standing before you today on behalf of all these incredible human beings that sit before me. This speech is not about me. It is about these legends who have worked so hard to be here today, who have earned, through blood, sweat, and tears, and sheer volume of relentless OSCEs and video assignments, their place here today, who, quite frankly, without whom I would not be here today either. It definitely has not been an easy road. I remember Skyping my friend who was studying in Columbia when I was in second year. Her subject list looked something like improvisation jazz on saxophone, botanical drawings, and an introduction to the sport of squash. I remember looking down at my chemistry homework and at the redox reaction I was trying to balance and thinking I had made an awful, awful mistake. Yet I stuck with it. And somewhere between neuroscience and radiology and diagnosis and orthopaedics and techniques class, I fell in love. You know, I don't believe people are born knowing what their passions are. They stumble into them. It starts out as the quietest of whispers, a curiosity, a gut instinct. It takes courage to listen to that small voice and trust in the road it is taking you. These people are the 1%ers. They heard that whisper and they followed it. Over the years I've spent with my cohort, I've seen it in every single one of them. They are driven by something more than fame or money or material goods. They are driven by a passion and an intense belief in a happier, healthier world. They are driven by a passion to be of service to others. There is only one real objective: to help people. The choice has been made by each of those graduating here today to walk a difficult, sometimes lonely, sometimes frustrating, yet noble path. And that alone speaks volumes about the characters of these people. With people like this in the world, the future is in good hands. But today isn't entirely about us. For most of my cohort, we were in first year and had just started the program when the university made a public announcement that the degree may be finishing. Macquarie was the first university in the world to offer chiropractic as a university degree, yet it looked as though we were to be the last cohort to ever graduate from the program. After 2 or 3 years where we had no idea what would happen, it fell through. Macquarie decided to keep the program, to keep their doors open to chiropractic students around Australia and internationally. But it was not without a fight. It was not without labour and sheer determination on the part of this department, headed by Rosemary Giriato. They fought because they believed in this institution. They believed in our profession and they believed in us. Thank you for fighting for us. When you find a teacher who teaches not just with their facts, but with their enthusiasm, you remember them and you hold on to them. This department is special. Just last week, I came into university to run my speech through with Rosemary. Turns out, we didn't change a thing. And yet I spent nearly 2 hours in her office while she asked me all about full-time work and life after university. I have had the same experience with a number of staff members here. They care. They are immensely generous, not just with their knowledge, but also with their time. To all the full-time and sessional staff within the Department of Chiropractic, including the clinic supervisors, associate supervisors, and all the tutors I've had over the years, I will cherish you and hold on to you. To my peers, congratulations. You have earned today, enjoy it. But today is not just our day. Today we do not walk down these aisles alone. To the faculty staff, thank you. Today is also your day. To my support network, Mum, Dad, Kate, the rest of my family, both biological and non-biological, Sean and the rest of my friends, thank you. Today is also your day. Even though some of you aren't here anymore, this piece of paper is just as much yours as it is mine. To the support networks of all my peers, those of you here today and those of you who may be watching online, thank you. Today is also your day. And to you guys, my friends for the past however many years, thank you with all the gratitude in the world for walking this journey with me. It has been an honour to share it with you. You know, I have lots of friends in many different faculties who can't even name a single other person in their degree. For a lot of people, that is a common university experience. Not in this degree. We are extremely fortunate to have one another. Soon we will leave university, some of us for the final time. Yet the learning never stops. There are lessons to be learnt from every human being you encounter, both in and out of clinic, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life learning from you all. As long and arduous as the road was, with all the numbers of ups and downs and sideways, and supines and prones, and BLR forearm contact, anterior superior, whatever that was really supposed to look like, the late nights, the 8 AM lectures, the post-radiology slide exam PTSD, true, the Oscar Day tremors, the Mario Privacevich question curveballs, giving up weekends to go to clinic or field work, trying to find the Chi Fung spirit, urine samples, physics, research methods, chemistry, dealing with the hypermobility so that it's a wonder to me how I'm even still standing up. With all of that, you know what? I wouldn't change a minute. So in the words of the famous Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, congratulations, class of 2017, we did it.
Well, congratulations, Michael, on your master's degree. You were clearly a very popular choice to give the graduate address, and I can see why. Now, I must admit there were a few of the jokes I didn't quite get, but your colleagues did, and that's the main thing. And you are quite right. People are not necessarily born with a passion. You develop a passion, and that's worth bearing in mind. And if you don't develop a passion for the thing you are doing, don't feel as though you're trapped. There are plenty of things you can do with your degree and with your life, so make sure that you do things that you do like and that you do become passionate about. I think Michael deserves another great round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to start by firstly saying a big thank you. Yesterday, I was unwell and not able to stand up here and sing. And what some of you might not know is that I do often sing at these graduation ceremonies, and our wonderful Chancellor says, if Miss Brewer's not here, you're lucky because I'd get up and sing. Well, I can tell you he is a man of his word. And yesterday, when I went home sick, he got up and sang. So I would like to offer him this opportunity now, or I'll go home. I heard he did a fabulous job. So I would personally like to say thank you for singing, Michael. And I think I'm healthy enough to give this a second go. So congratulations. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that glorious voice belongs to Angela Brewer. And the story she told is half true. I have for many years at graduation ceremonies told the graduating class that they're very fortunate that Angela could sing at their graduation, because on the occasions when she couldn't, I did the singing. And yesterday afternoon, when I heard that Angela was unwell and was unable to sing, I thought to myself, if I don't sing, there's no way in the world I can continue to tell that joke. Now, the problem is I can't sing. I can't sing to save my life. And as I pointed out, there are very few songs whose words I know, but one of them is Happy Birthday. So it occurred to me that there must be someone out of the 600 who was celebrating a birthday, and there was, so I sang Happy Birthday to them. So I kept my promise. I think Angela deserves another great round of applause. And so too do our fabulous musicians over there, Melanie McLaughlin on the trumpet, and our organist, Dr. James Forsyth. I'd also like to thank our alumni volunteers who come along to all of our graduations to make sure that things go smoothly, and I suspect sometimes the reason they do come along is just to hear Angela sing, because it really, as you could tell today, is a real delight. So I'd like to thank them. Some of them are sitting over there, some are over there. They do an absolutely fabulous job. And behind me are representatives of our academic community who also have been very important in your journey here at Macquarie. I'm sure you'd like to put your hands together for them too. Well, now, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University. But it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of 184,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support, and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And graduates, please make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study or attend alumni events, or use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even, if the mood takes you, just enjoy a stroll through our lovely campus, or even a picnic down by the lake. Well, now, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life, or a great career, or a great achievement. So, as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the benefit of the world we live in. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who've helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today to help you celebrate. So, to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to please stand. Now I want you to put your degrees on the chairs behind you so that your hands are free. And now I'd like you to turn to face your families and your friends. And now I ask you to give them a mighty round of applause. Well, now, graduates, you can turn around now, but please don't sit down because we'll be moving out in just a few seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will soon lead the official party out through the centre aisle, and we will be followed by all of the graduates. I would then invite all of you to join the procession down the centre aisle, out through the campus and down to the Macquarie, where I hope you'll stay and enjoy some light refreshments with us. We have some very nice refreshments for the adults and even better ones for the children. We have ice creams and fairy floss and pink lemonade. And they're not just restricted to the children, they're available to everyone up to and exceeding my age. So please do join us. Ladies and gentlemen, will you now please all stand and remain standing until you process out. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you, may the wind always be at your back, may the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.